Hey there, action fan, it's RWBY review time. Today I'm looking at Season 2, Episode 2, Welcome to Beacon. The story begins with Oz the Great and Powerful greeting General James Ironwood from Atlas. Apparently he took over after General Knox. But it's not all pleasantries. Apparently the good general brought a whole army along with him, out of concern over something Ruby's Uncle Crow said or predicted.
Is it Doom?
Probably.
Meanwhile, the girls are playing some sort of hybrid of D&D, Risk, and Yu-Gi-Oh! But Blake seems preoccupied, what with the forces of darkness gaining strength and all. So later that night, Team RWBY dedicates themselves to fighting the good fight against the forces of evil to protect the world. And the episode ends with RWBY running into none other than Emerald, Mercury, and Cinder, who are all undercover as students from Haven. This episode is pretty okay. It's long on comedy, but short on action. So it's a good thing that Welcome to Beacon is as funny as it is. And it's one of the best kinds of funny. The kind of humor that comes from the interplay between various personalities, and not random what the Although I do like random what the
Evil beware. We have waffles.
The point is, the board game scene was a riot. Also Son, who I may need to start calling Jacob,
Put a shirt on, you hippie.
and his bro Neptune are hanging around. And they're cool enough, I guess. They also work in some world building, and it's fairly clever how they do it. The board game gives the layout of the world, and explains that there are 4 major kingdoms, spread out over the continent. Also on that front, General Ironwood is a cool dude from what I can tell. He strikes me as legitly concerned about the fate of the world, although that's not to say he might not end up as an antagonist, but he would be an antagonist without being a bad guy. The biggest problem with the episode is the lack of action, which is one of the main selling points of the show. But in exchange, we get an interesting character flashback with Blake, being interviewed by Ozpin. It sheds light on her personal hang-ups, and shows that Oz is pretty darn sharp, having figured out that she's a Neko. Finally, I was a bit surprised to see Cinder disguised as a student. It can be a little bit tough judging how old some of these characters are supposed to be at times. Okay, now it's time to break down the good and the bad in RWBY, Welcome to Beacon. On the good side, the episode is very funny and features great world building and character development. On the downside, I'd like a little more action in my action comedy techno fairy tale school slice of life thing. So I give RWBY Season 2, Episode 2, Welcome to Beacon a 3.5 out of 5. If you're interested in more reviews of movies, anime, TV shows, comic books, or video games, check out my channel on YouTube at StupidPrivate913, or find me on Facebook for video updates and more. Thanks for watching.
Hey kids, today's show is brought to you by the letter 4 and the number potato! I'm a stupid private.